So today we're gonna attempt Leetcode 699 falling squares. There are several squares being dropped on the x-axis of a 2D plane. Okay, before I start this video though, I just want to say this is a question I've never attempted before. You can look at the submissions and there's just nothing, right? So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to develop the intuition for this from scratch using a tool that I've developed called Learn Algorithms Fast on Vercel, and basically we're going to use like space repetition to try to do it. Okay, that's basically the whole strategy. But first we're going to have to understand the question. Okay, so this video could be quite long because I'm going to have to learn the algorithm from scratch. But I do believe that it should be a pretty exciting video because it shows how a pretty average brain like mine might process this question. Okay, there are several squares being dropped onto the x-axis of a 2D plane. You are given a 2D integer array positions where positions I equals to left and side length, and I is the I square with a side length of side length I that is dropped with the left edge aligned with x coordinate left. Each square is dropped one at a time from a height above any landed squares. It then falls downwards, negative y direction, until it lands on the top side of another square or on the x-axis. A square brushing the left and right side of another square does not count as landing on it. Okay, once it lands, it freezes in place and cannot be moved. After each square is dropped, you must record the height of the current tallest stack of squares. Return an integer array answer where answer I represents the height described above after dropping the ith square. Okay, so this one would be, well, 2, 5, 5, right? And then 100, 100, 200, 100, which means 100, 100. So the tallest stack, and the second one is brushes the right side but it does not land on it, so it's not stacked. And every time it lands, you need to calculate the new height. Okay, so we're not even gonna try to we're not even gonna try to think of how to do this because I actually don't, and I believe that is a really great approach, but I'm gonna try to learn it straight from the start. So we're gonna repeat this 5 times, and hopefully if my approach is right, then this is supposed to work. Alright, so as a narcissist, I'm going to have to pretty much float on top video. Anyways, it's also easier for me when I go back and revise.
Class interval.
The voice is really a bad feature that I didn't want. I should at least leave it on disabled for a start. And in fact, after this, I'm gonna do that. So okay, anyways, let's see how this works. So we're gonna create an interval class with start, end, and height. Cannot show what this is for, but let's see. Oops, sorry. This dot end equals to end. This dot height equals to height. So what this does is it creates a class with these 3 properties. Next, we're gonna work on the function. Okay, we're gonna const falling squares. We'll take it one line at a time. And if there's anything we don't quite understand, we hope that by the time we get to the end of the algorithm, we'll understand it better. So result and intervals. We're still not sure what the intervals is really for. Okay, but positions are like the squares basically, and the first this one is basically the x-axis of the square, and 2 is basically the width of the square, and the height and width of the square is of course the same. So for let h equals to 0 for const burst of positions. Okay, so height h equals to 0, not sure what that is. Current equals to new interval. Okay, position 0, so that's the x-axis. Oh, okay, so this is the end, position 0 plus position 1, and then just position 1, right? H equals to math.max h get height intervals Okay, current. So we have a custom function get heights. Result dot push h. Okay, and I believe that's it, and return result. Now, using the custom data structure intervals, they created a new function called get height, which is very interesting. I actually don't know how it's gonna happen, but it takes in the intervals and it takes in the current, and current equals to new interval. So interval, shouldn't it just be the final intervals? But intervals is an empty array. Unless intervals keep getting modified by this get interval. Okay, but anyways, let's take a look. Pre-max height equals to 0. For const interval of intervals, if interval dot end is less than current dot start, continue. If interval dot end dot start is greater than or equals to current dot end, continue, which effectively means like it's going to brush against or not collide. But if not, then pre-max height equals to math.max pre-max height interval dot height. Okay. But this is only for, but how do you current dot height plus equals to pre-max height intervals dot push current. That's the magic, right? So now return current dot height. Okay, so that's basically how this is supposed to be done. The current dot height always has that height of that pre-max height can be 0. So if if everything is brushing, pre-max height is 0. So return current dot height. Right, that was nice. Okay, but I'm still not quite familiar with it to type it out on my own. But let's try it again. Class interval constructor start end height, and this dot start equals to start, this dot end equals to end, this dot height equals to height. Okay, and then const falling squares equals to function and positions, and const result equals to this, const intervals equals to this. So intervals is sort of, it's not quite a global, but like it's like a global within the falling squares function. So let h equals to 0, and basically h is like the max height that you calculate using the get height variables. So anyways, const post of positions, const current equals to new interval, and you get position 0, position 0 plus position 1, because that's the height of the square, and then n would be position 1, I believe. Yeah, h equals to math.max h, which h is not the maximum from get height, doesn't get maximum, it just gets the height of that new interval that's added to intervals, and height here is gonna persistently be the maximum height that's found. So get heights, or get height rather, and intervals and current, and at the end of the get height, the currents added to intervals, right? Then that's not it. Result dot push height, my bad. So return result, right? Okay, then now we're gonna type a new function called getHeight, and we're gonna do intervals and current. Okay, so first thing we need to do is, do we need a custom variable for this? Let something equals to something. Let premax height equals to 0. Not quite ready for recalling from const. If interval dot n is lesser than or equals to current dot start, just continue, right? If interval dot start is greater than or equals to current dot end, you can also just continue. And what was it? Okay, no, sorry. Then now you just set the pre-max height, which is kind of the tricky thing here, which is what's the max height sorry. What's the maximum height that is within that interval, right? So but you can have multiple squares stacking, can't you? Math.max pre-max height interval.height, right? And basically you're trying to get the interval that's the largest, right? If you have multiple squares stacking, right? So current.height plus equals to pre-max height intervals.push current. Yep. Return current.height. So the pre-max height can be really, really big because I understand. So anything that is going to be stacked below this current will have their height added to pre-max height. Fairly straightforward, man. What's going on? Yep. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So the current interval will actually not just include the height of the square, but all of the heights of the biggest interval that came before it. Sorry, it will not include all the heights. Sorry, it will just include the height of the biggest interval that came before it, and every interval is like a accumulation of all the heights. So that's it, and that's basically it. Okay, I'm not quite sure if I can try to do it without looking at the answer right now, so I've done it twice, but we'll try. Class interval, okay. I might have to look at the answer, okay guys, I'm sorry. This dot start equals to start. This dot end equals to end. This dot height equals to height. That's kind of a clever strategy, I would say, right? And now the falling squares equals to a function, open bracket, and I believe it's called what, positions, right? Okay, so now the first thing we need to do is create a const of h, or is it result? Okay, result it is. Maybe we still need h, no? Const calm down, I can do this. Const, maybe not h, maybe not results, but we need something. I can't remember. Intervals, my bad. Now let h equals to 0, right? So for how come const post of positions. Okay, this is just forgetting the variables, no big deal. But anyways, we'll get better. That's the key, right? We'll get better with time. Okay, for const post of positions. And next thing you gotta do is alright, you instantiate a new instance of it. Okay, I'm not quite able to do this yet. Yep, so we'll just use the answer. No shame in admitting that. Most importantly, by the end of this video, can I do that, right? So h equals to math.max, h get height, and put intervals and current in, and then result.push h, right? Return result. The next one is we're gonna create a new function called get height, and we're gonna take the intervals and current. Okay. Yep, that's that. Just relax so you know what it needs to be done. So you gotta create some variables first called pre-max height equals to 0, and then for it, maybe const interval of intervals if interval.n is greater is to so this one, if it's not gonna stack, you just continue. If not, just add it to the pre-max height. Pre-max height equals to math.max pre-max height no, this is easy, come on. Interval dot height. Yep. Okay, great. So now we have the pre-max height calculated. So current dot height, that's the key, equals to plus equals to pre-max height. Okay. Then basically intervals dot push current, return, I believe, current dot height. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, repeats left 2. Now I should be able to do it without looking right now. If not, it's gonna be really tough moving forward. But maybe I can't, who knows. So Very nice. Oh god. I'm getting a little complacent. Pre-max height. So oh right, dude, this is really poor. But this algorithm is kind of long, so yeah, I mean, it's not really easy to learn it. Final repeat left. Wow, that was brutal. Okay, but after this repeat, I think we can attempt it on Leetcode. This is really fine-tuning my understanding, really. Class interval. It's already pretty bad because like I've already started out making 3 mistakes because I feel more confident now, and it's kind of difficult to concentrate when you're talking, which is why I really admire people who can do that well. So surprisingly, we're only at 24 or 25 minutes here, which it does feel like it should be longer than that, right? But anyways, if it is, then this isn't that bad. But okay, sorry, I keep getting this wrong, but like it's like the minor mistakes, hopefully. So yeah, this is easy. Come on, John. Okay, so math. I wanted to type math. Dot max h get height intervals current. This doesn't make sense. Okay, yeah. Then result dot push height return result Okay, not that. Now we need to create a new function, get height, intervals. I definitely have more errors this time around because I'm talking and I'm doing it quickly and like, you know, I'm kind of feeling confident. But when the reality is, you know, I don't know why I'm confident for. But yeah, you see, I already have as many errors as just now. But anyways. Okay, so we've completed it 5 times. Let's move over to Leetcode and see if we can do this. Right, not saying that I definitely can, and in fact, probably I can't, but it's fine. Height. Not that focused, which is pretty bad, but you know, who cares? I mean, I know I probably get it done, so yeah. This video is going to be quite a quiet video, but it does show my my process of learning how to do this. Most of it may not actually be that interesting, I'm really sorry, but who cares. Yeah. Sorry. Yep, that's pretty much it. Yep. Sorry. Let's see. Right, submit it. So the memory is not great, but we solved the question. So, well, that's pretty much how to do this video. How to do this video, sorry. How to do this question 699. Initially, you have an interval class, right, that stores the start, end, and the height. And the height is really what is going to be changing in the get height function, whereby it's going to change the interval's height. So it's not going to just be the height of that square, but also the pre-maximum height of all the other intervals that are beneath it, right? And the get height just gets the height for the new square that's being added on, and it will automatically add it on as well. So that's basically how you do this question. It's a pretty long algorithm, man. Okay, it's only 35 lines, but okay. But anyways, that's all for today. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.